From the end of 1950 through the next 10 years, actually returns averaged about 50% a year. And I think they were 37 points better than the Dow per year, something like that. But that I was working with a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of money. And so I would pour through volumes of businesses, and I would find one or two that I could put $10,000 into or $15,000 into that were just ridiculous. They were ridiculously cheap. I think if you're working with a small amount of money, with exactly the same background that Charlie and I have, and same ideas, same whatever ability we have, I think you can make very significant sums.
Welcome to Personal Finance Cat, where I share my personal take on personal finance.
Lesson number 5 is start early. Whether it's investing, whether it's building a career, whether it's building a side hustle, whether it's building a business, you have to start early. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I thought that I wanted stability. I wanted to have a family, so I need to get a job first. With a job, I can pay the bills. Once I have my own nice fancy house, my family, and then I can think about starting a business. The thinking was pretty much backwards and wrong, because when you didn't have a family, didn't have all the obligations, it's much easier to start a business because your risk is low. You only have yourself to feed, you only have yourself to worry about. Then even if the business goes really, really wrong, there's not that much at stake. Now I have a family, I have children that I need to feed and pay all these bills. It's a lot harder. I wish I started when I was much younger. But now I still want to pursue something on my own because I do believe that in order to have something really meaningful, I'd rather work for myself, not for another company or other people. But I only have limited time, so I have to be really smart about it, and it might take me a long, long time to get there, but at least I'm taking the action. Lesson number 6 is to take action. You probably heard of the phrase analysis paralysis. When you do too much thinking, sometimes it really hinders the ability for you to do anything. I've taken a course where I learned that small steps are actually encouraged, regardless of whether it's a career move, whether it's learning something new, whether it's building a business. Everything starts with a small step. If you don't take any steps, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you take small steps, you can get somewhere. You might have heard of a saying, people overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year, but drastically underestimate how much they can accomplish in 10 years. And that pretty much was my story too. When we started real estate investing, we thought we were going to buy one single family property each year. And that's what we did for the first 4 or 5 years. But all of a sudden, we started buying multifamily. And within 7-8 years, we accumulated 20-something units. That was unexpected. And then after COVID, the value just all shot up tremendously. What I thought was going to take a lot longer, maybe 20-something years, turned out it only took less than 10 years. So it's exactly what that saying was predicting. I definitely underestimated how much I could achieve in 10 years because sometimes there are unexpected factors out of your control that helps you out. And then a lot of the times the inflection point just came out of the blue. For us, it's really the first multifamily that opened up our eyes, and we were able to use BRRRR. BRRRR basically stands for buy, rehab, refinance, and repeat. So we were able to do that for our first multifamily, and then it became the next multifamily, which we bought using the refinance capital from the first multifamily. And then we did 1031 exchange, and so on and so forth. Right now we're taking a pause, but that's a different story. I had 2 videos about why I quit real estate, but I'm not saying that I'm not gonna touch real estate ever again. I think the market is overheated. I'm still waiting for that big correction to come. And even when that comes, we will be ready because we will have our capital, we'll have our experience. We can jump in and really get the good deals. Real estate, like I said in other videos, timing really is important because for the most part, real estate is not mispriced that often, unlike the stock market. So buying at the right time is pretty much the determining factor of whether or not you're gonna make a good return. Anyway, my point is that start small. That's what I'm trying to do with this business too. I still have to figure out a business model. I'm making some videos that hopefully provide some helpful information for people. And then the next step, I might create some courses that really package everything in a concise format and then I can sell those courses hopefully to help people even more. It's going slow, again, because I have limited time, but it's something that I'm passionate about and I'm willing to take longer. But at least I took some action, and I think these small steps will add up. Maybe after a number of years, I will get somewhere, and I hope that it will be as rewarding as my real estate investing journey. Lesson number 7 is that you have to enjoy the journey. I've heard many people say you have to enjoy the process, which is really true, because no matter how grand the goal is, no matter how exciting that goal that you have in mind, which you think is so far away and so unachievable might be, once you get there, believe it or not, it's not probably as exciting as you thought it would be. Take my real estate investing journey as an example. I was always dreaming about getting to X number of units, and I didn't realize that I could get 20 something units within 10 years. But once I got there, I was thinking, what's next? If I really can retire relying on the income from real estate, am I going to feel fulfilled? And the answer is no. I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people, especially smart and hardworking people who always want to do something meaningful. Once you reach one goal, you're always thinking about what's next. So that basically means what's important is really the journey. You have to enjoy the journey. You have to enjoy the process. And this ties into a lot of what I already talked about, these lessons that are valuable. One thing is you have to enjoy learning. That's a lifelong process. The other thing is you have to have a growth mindset, because you have to adapt. You have to change with the times. Even Warren Buffett changed his investing style big time, multiple times. He was a bargain hunter. He learned a lot from Benjamin Graham, who basically looked out for bargain deals. What that means is you find a company whose book value of the assets is more than the stock price you pay. But then you end up with a business that really is on the decline, because the reason why the stock price is so low is because people know that this industry is dying. Berkshire Hathaway, the actual textile mill, he bought it for a very cheap price, but that business was just not going anywhere. So he learned a lesson, and he adapted his thinking from buying bargain business at wonderful price to buying wonderful business at fair price. And that's a huge shift. But that's one of the reasons why he's successful, because if you just kept thinking like Benjamin Graham, you're not going to go too far. There are no businesses nowadays that sell at that kind of price anyway. And even if you're able to find a business like that, chances are that the business is not going anywhere, and that's reflected in the stock price. Anyway, my point is the journey is important, because everything that goes on in the journey is what you enjoy. For example, learning. For example, have an open mindset. For example, be humble to learn from others. Be willing to fail. All these things, they are part of the journey, and they are fun in and of themselves. That's why this is the last lesson, but also probably the most important lesson. All right, to wrap up, the 7 lessons that convinced me that building wealth is simple are also the lessons that I wish I'd learned when I was in my 20s. And these lessons are, number 1, follow the proven path. There is no shortcut. Number 2, be intentional and have a growth mindset. Number 3, learn from the successful. Number 4, learning is a lifelong process. Number 5, start early. Number 6, take action. Number 7, focus on the journey, not the destination. All right, that's it, my friends. Hope you find this video helpful. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more. Please also feel free to share with your friends and family if you think they will find this helpful as well. Thank you for watching until the end. Till next time.